is the OnTheWater solution for multi-bin and warehouse management and the use of container receipt of goods. I'm Ron Chomp, and I wanted to walk you through some of the features here on this today on how you can view some of the data on the screen, how you can easily run this through using standard Sage 100 screens and receipt of goods to process. First of all, just as an overview, let me cover some of the points here that we're going to cover. We're going to do an example or a few examples on using containers and OnTheWater features to where we're going to receive goods, to where you're auto-assigning a container to a couple POs. We're going to also do a case where we're going to create multiple containers for a given PO. We're going to go through receipt of goods data entry, receive goods on the water in a few different ways. First, we're going to make use of the most basic way where we're going to receive goods on the water in the manually enter it, and then we're going to use some of the automatic features to where we're going to assign the container ID and to automatically assign the next pallet ID also. We can view the information in different places in inventory, sales order entry, and reports in the system. Then we'll receive the goods in the in the warehouse, and we'll break the container automatically, and you'll see how that we can easily assign landed costs. You know, there's several ways to allocate goods to the sales order. You can manually do it in sales order entry, and that's good for pre-booking. You can automatically assign it also as the goods hit the water or you receive in the warehouse. We have options for that. So let's get started. Just as an overview here, looking at an item and some of the new columns that we're summarizing by warehouse. You see that here in this column right here. We see goods on the water. I have 1,000 pieces out of my goods that are on hand, and we give you an option whether or not you want to reduce the quantity available for that number. You can, FYI, for part of warehouse management system, you can choose to reduce your quantity available for non-sellable goods too, and that's in the location itself where you earmark it and you say it's not available for sales order, where that would be non-sellable. This number here is representing the quantity that's been allocated, hard allocated to sales orders, and that's that number right there. If I go on to this tab here, multi-bin, we'll see our inventory in different bin locations. You can see that in the second line item here, we have goods that are on the water, estimated date of arrival in November 2016 on this PO 10047. And you can see that there's a number on hand, and then out of that there's 899 left available because a 101 has been spoken for on other orders. We could drill down into that information right here, and we can see that these are the two sales orders that make up that's allocated to that inventory. That's still in transit. If I go to the Orders tab, we can see information on the water about our open POs and the sales orders. For our given PO here that's on the water, you can see that there's 1,000 on the water. It's been received, but yet 1,000 of it still on the water. If I go to the open sales orders, we can see that the PO numbers that they're allocated to, allocation is optional. I've just used it in this case, in this example. Don't have to do it by all means. Okay, if we can go ahead and get started now. Let's do a sample PO. I'll create a new PO using a sample vendor. If I select the vendor that's been set up for the OnTheWater feature, then it will default that on the PO. So that's that checkbox right here. This is the estimated number of days, the lead time for it to hit the water when they ship it. And then these are options here. This is the fact that this PO will hit the water as well as then receive it in the warehouse. And this is the date that it's going to hit the water on that date right there. And then let's create a few items here, and like this. like that. And then when I do a receipt of goods here, it will go ahead and receive that in. And then over here, we can override the estimated dates. And then you can see some of the options that we have that started in options itself. The option whether or not that we can want to pre-book, allow pre-books to the sales orders. And when we want to receive goods, to automatically assign it to the receipt of goods, automatically allocate goods as the goods go in transit, or receive it in, or when they receive in the warehouse, or not at all. So then go ahead and save that. And then let's go into receipt of goods, and we'll receive it in. And it's using all the regular features in Sage 100. And here it's defaulting the fact that it's going on the water. We provide this new field here to automatically assign the container, and we'll do that here in the next example. I want to just, in this example, go through a manual entry so you'll see that. In this case, you'll see that it's assigned the pallet ID, and it's reflecting the fact that it's going on the water. And in this tab here, I'm going to do the next container ID there. So this pallet setup is set up in the item itself. So if I were to go over here like this into item maintenance and drill down into this, these are the directed put away settings, and here I can put the fact of the package type, or the fact that it's a pallet, and the quantity per pallet. In this case, it's 100 per pallet. So it'll save time for data input for that way. So had I put the container ID in here, the data input could have been completely automatic for me. And so I'll go over to this one. I'm going to select that same container number 4 that I had on the first screen, and then on this last one here, I just want to show you the input here. So I'm going to delete this line, and I'll do a manual entry for a container on there. And notice how it automatically put that in there for me. So you got an example there of automatically assigning the pallets if you have that feature, if you're using it. And of course, I did a next number on the container number there. Oh, by the way, and I skipped through that, I had the opportunity to assign estimated landed costs. So if that was useful for you to have the estimated cost for goods on the water, that's good. You can use that for reporting, valuation reporting, estimated gross profit on the sales orders. And but when you receive the goods finally in the warehouse, it will true up your actual cost by the actual landed cost and the other actual cost that you receive when the goods go into the warehouse. So this is a true good way of using a system where you have estimated costs and truing it up as when they get in the warehouse. Let's go ahead and process this one. And here you have an audit trail of what we've done here, assigning this to container number 4 and the pallet ID for each of those. And here it's located some goods that's going to allocate. And I did have the setting in there to go ahead and allocate when the goods hit the water, and so that's okay, and I got that receiving like that. And receiving and allocating to these orders like that. When I update, then it's going to go ahead and finalize the allocation. And in this case, when we view the postings here, we're going to see that we're going to get our debit to our goods on the water. By selecting a GL account in options, that will do that for you. And of course, our credit to clearing account there. And so we're good with that. So if we go back and view our inventory now for what we just did, we have now goods that we just received on the water. And let's see, did we do this one? And we did this one right here. This must be the one that we did. Yeah, number 52. So we did this here. We auto receipt goods here, and we received in 100, and these are goods on the water. So you can see it like that. If I were to go onto a sales order, I'll go into an existing one. This one has already been earmarked and reserved with inventory, but if I can go in here and still view some of this data. So if I do a lookup here by the pallet ID column, you can see all the containers and pallets in transit like this. Goods that are broken individually, you can see all the data like that and all my available inventory like that. And of course, you can give anyone the ability to pre-allocate or pre-book if that was up to, and then you can let the system tally that up for you and keep track of what's good. Then when I receive goods, I can in the warehouse, I could choose to use receipt of goods data entry and just select the PO number. I'm going to make use of our container receipt of goods here and just select the container number. This gives me the ability to quickly receive goods in by the container ID, automatically assign the goods during receipt of goods, and I could have had any number of POs, and I'll automatically divvy up my landed cost that way. It does want a batch number. I'll assign one to this. It's giving you basic header information over here. These are data entry prompts options right here. For example, I do want to automatically receive the goods on this container. I want to break this container when it goes in my inventory. So it's going to take out the container number 4 in my inventory. I'm going to go ahead and receive all the pallets and auto-receive all the goods under the pallets and all the non-palleted goods. This section over here is showing you the status of this data entry, because when you complete the data entry, then it's going to create your receipt of goods, and so we give you a way of getting some reassurance and like, let's say, remove the pallet ID, I can, or reassign it to another ID. I can reassign the location and the quantity received. In this case, I'm going to receive it complete. Then when I go to the purchase order column over here, it's going to show me the breakdown of all my POs. In this case, it's just one. I can assign landed cost to this. And then had I had more POs, then it will give me the ability to divvy that up automatically by quantity, the value on the PO, the weight, and the volume factor. Hitting enter, then it went ahead and created my receipt of goods. So now when I print my receipt of goods, it's going to back out. The receipts register is now going to show me the information I'll be looking for in order to back out the original receipt. That's this entry down here. And here it's backing out the original receipt and the old cost information. And here it's bringing in the new cost information up here, as well as my landed cost and right there and total receipt here. So I have a complete audit trail of the reversal and the new receipt that I'm receiving in. So now it's going to receive the goods in. Now I'll print my transaction register, and here you can clearly see that it's moving my postings from that were on the water to my inventory account. It did a wash on my purchases clearing, and there's my postage, or my freight, my landed cost. And so we'll go ahead and update that. So if I were to go back and look at my inventory, I can see that I have now goods in my receiving dock, and it's a pallet in this case. I can drill down into that. I can see that that's a given pallet out there with my inventory, 100 pieces, and I have the normal typical view in our multi-bin warehouse management system for that inventory. Okay, so let's go about And this one, I'm using these items, the bear and the cat. And we'll just get 100 of those. Bear and cat. So in this case, we'll go ahead and accept that. So I have PO number 10050, and let's see, and I'm going to receive in 49 together, and I don't want to do 48 just yet. Okay, so in this example here, we're going to do multiple containers to one PO. I'll do a new entry, and we'll do something here, obvious flow container 22. Ask me if there's a new number, and it is. And this is the wrong one here. I didn't put my PO in there yet. So I got to put my PO in there first. Sorry about that. So here we have 49 and 50. So we'll do 49. And the reason I was doing that is it's changed the ID type over here, and that we want that to be a container. So it knows that after I put the PO number that this is a fresh PO to receive it on the water, and it gives us the ability to quickly put in the container. I can look up existing container numbers and put in new ones, as I'm going to do now. So I'll do container number 23, and here's defaulting the right ID type, and that's what I was looking for right there. So now I do have the ability to for the pallet ID. So in here I have it set up to automatically assign the next pallet ID to it, and if you recall, that's set up in the item, and so I can put the ID type pallet in the item and the quantity. I'll take us back into that real quick here. And that's for my put settings over here, my ID type pal and the quantity per pallet right there. So it defaulted that for me, as well as it defaulted the container number 23 on that. So now I'll go ahead and receive these goods on the water. And there's our audit trail, the PO number 49. Oh, and sorry, one more, got to do one more. Sorry about that. Go back into this. We wanted 2 POs on this, didn't we? I promised 2 POs. So we did 49, let's do 50. And we want to select container number 23 and do receipt of goods. And there, just check what we've done. We've done 100, and there's our pallets. Wasn't thinking there. Okay, so now we have 2 POs on one container, container number 23. I just want to show you how easy it is to receive that in using the new container entry screen. Of course, I can individually select those in receipt of goods data entry. And here's our posting on our general ledger, just to clearly see what's going on that, and that that it's debiting inventory on the water. Now I can view my goods here in my inventory. So here's my container number. You can see when it's coming in. And then I can drill down onto it, and I can clearly see that I have a nice breakdown of my PO numbers and what I'm receiving under this container. All these pallets are coming in on under this PO number for container number 23 and that PO, and here's all the inventory that I'll be receiving in also, and all these goods are on the water. So let's go in sales order entry. Sales order entry, and I'll create a new sales order. And we'll select this one item here, and we can pre-book it. Even though it's on a container, and I can select here, and I can view my inventory, my available inventory here. And so I can select any given pallet or item. In this case, I'm taking a whole pallet. And so then what I'll do here is we'll go ahead and receive it in now in our warehouse. So that's container number 23. It wants a batch number to assign to it. Leave all the options here set like that. And now when I just go to the distribution, it's going to reflect everything that I'm receiving in. Of course, I can change the quantities and what have you, but we get the idea that we're receiving all our pallets. Over here, we're going to divvy up our landed cost. So I'm going to assign $3,000 to our landed cost in this case. And you can see the breakdown based on the quantities received. It's doing it, breaking out like that. And again, these are the different options that we're doing automatically for you. As I hit accept, it went ahead and created my receipt of goods. I'll get out of my container receipt of goods entry there. And so in this case now, I'm going to go ahead and update it. And then it's going to go ahead and reassign my landed costs. So these are the estimated costs that it's backing out, and these are where it's truing up my real cost here with my true landed cost here and here to those POs that I did there in the container entry. And that's it. So in this case, now we've done two POs to one container. And what we can do in this example here real quick is we can receive in a couple containers. I just want to go through a quick example for you. And I think I was using this PO here. And what we can choose to do here, and that's going to default the container or receive on the water, and we'll go ahead and assign container 25 here, and we'll create a new container. And now it's auto-received everything. So in this case, I want to do an estimate. By doing that, it's going to go ahead and back out or auto-allocate the 150 that I keyed in. I want to retain the one that's going to go in the container. So in this case, I didn't auto-assign a PO or auto-assign a pallet on this one. I'll do 150 on this one. And here it's telling me that I need to do a distribution, come back on the screen, back out the estimate that I put in here. And I guess in this case, we'll have to receive in 200. Oh, I'll do 150. How about like that? And then 150 here too. I'll back out that, and here, and we'll put 50 on that one also. And so let's go ahead and receive that on the water. There's our audit trail. First one didn't have a pallet. In this case, it's giving me a prompt and it's warning me, hey, this PO was partially received, and it's warning me, hey, I can select to receive this on the water or on the warehouse. Had we didn't do that, you could have selected it here on the drop box. But in this case, I've received more goods on the water and went ahead and assigned that for me. Now it's auto assigning the balance for me. I'm done on that. I neglected to put a container number on that, as I recall. Let's go back into that screen. My fault. So in this case here, I'll just go into each one of these here and put the next number here, container number 5, container number 5 here. Oh, container number 5. And this one. And what I'll do on this one is give an example of how we autofill this in during data input. It remembers what I did, so here I'll just, I'll do the next container number here. And you see how it autofilled that in. It's keeping track of that for me. And so in this case now, I'm going to go ahead and receive in those goods on the water, like that, with the container number 5. And so then let's look at our inventory. Let's go back over here and look at some of our inventory and you can see the different container numbers. This is the first one on that one PO. And so the same PO, 2 different containers, right? Same PO, 2 different containers. I could drill down into that. I can go in sales order entry, pre-allocate to those if I want, and viewing the inventory over here. This is nice. This is showing you some of the inventory that's been received in previously and more goods that are on now on. And that one sales order that I entered earlier, it went ahead and reallocated that to the receiving dock. I can drill down. I can see that right here, and this is that one order. Now it's waiting to be either moved over the shipping dock to be shipped out right away, or you can move it to the shelf, but it preserves the allocation when you move the inventory along with the allocation. Some of the other things you might be interested in before we receive it in is viewing the inventory on some of the reports. So I can sort it by the inventory date. Now I don't have that set in here right now, but I can sort this report by purchase order number by leaving it like that. So these are all the goods that are still on the water out of everything I processed. And you can see here the ID number of the pallet, the goods on the water. If I were to run a trial balance report, this is the one that will reconcile to my balance sheet, and I can segregate it by selecting only here. And then let's see, I'm doing 531.10. I don't know if that's right. I think I've been posting here with 2016. I don't know how good this is going to come out here. Whoop. 2016 in the month of October. I'll give that a try. So this is the reconciling to my balance sheet, in this case, for goods that are on the water. And then what I wanted to do here is do a final receipt of goods into my warehouse using the container number here in purchase order. I can go in here and select this entry here. So these were the 2 on the PO number 10048, and that's nice that we show that for you so you can clearly see that. So I can receive both containers, put that in the batch there, receive that in, and sign landed cost. Well, I'll go ahead and skip that for now, and we'll select the other one. Which one did I select here a second ago? By the way, when you do the other lookup right here, it's nice. It's showing you the status right on the screen, container number, and the relevant PO. So that was container number 25, so the other one I have to receive in is number 5 here, and go over here, receive this in, and then we're done. And then all I got to do then is run my receipts register to finalize the data entry there for my taking that receipt that was on the water, and that's all for one PO, specking it out and receiving it in. Pallets are optional. Some businesses use them, some businesses don't. And so you can always work your way towards using pallets in the system. Containers, it's real nice. Now you can track the container in the system, and you can allocate your inventory to it if you choose to, or allocate it to your sales orders. And I never showed you, but here, so if we go into one of these entries for a container, let's see if I still have anything left in containers. I don't, but what I can do is still show you at least the field where you can enter. If you wanted to override the estimated date of arrival, you can enter right there. So I can, like I said earlier, if you wanted to view a different date of when goods are coming in, you can do that in the purchase order, in the totals tab, or you can do it here by container, and then again that information is assigned to my inventory, and then you can override it. If you wanted to override that estimated date, by the way, on a given item, you can do that right here, and that's the estimated date right here. This is not something that's on the water. And actually, yeah, this is in my inventory. But anyway, that's my presentation here for containers, receiving, multi-bin warehouse management, and OnTheWater solution for Sage 100. Thank you very much for seeing it. Let us know if you have any questions. Let your reseller know if you have any questions too. Thank you very much.